We are back on Taking Care of Business on Koerner Radio, News Talk, 1180, 1230 KGEO, 1410 KERI, now in Albuquerque, New Mexico at 1000 KKIM, and 3 times a week on the Internet through knookmedia.com. Our guest in studio, friend of the show, Nancy Phillips from Virtual Enterprise. So, Virtual Enterprise is a national event, but Bakersfield seems to do very well in this event.
Well, yes, we do. The National Business Plan Competition in New York in April has been going on since 2005. Mm-hmm. And every one of these years, since that point in time, a California or several California teams have always ended up in the top 6 in the nation.
Wow.
And Bakersfield has had 2 teams that have won first place several times. One is Centennial High School and the other is Bakersfield High School.
Mm-hmm. Now, what other states are involved in this?
Well, there's Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, Michigan, New York, of course. Let me see. South Carolina, North Carolina, Illinois.
Wow.
So those are some of them.
So it truly is national.
Yes, it is.
You know, it's interesting when you look at these students and you look at some of the other students that are walking the streets. What a difference. These students have so much class.
Yeah. Well, yes, they do. Especially, this is their first opportunity, our state trade show, for them to really get up in front of adults, if you will, and present something. It's scary for them. But once they do that, their confidence is amazing that they will gain from just doing it one time. Then they can go on to other trade shows in the springtime in California, or they can go back to the New York one and present too.
I'm just talking about just the appearance of these students. They actually pull their pants up.
Yes.
You know, it's sort of nice.
They do. They have to come. They have to come dressed professionally to this event, either in a nice suit, tie, or trousers and a sports coat. And the girls have to wear either a nice pantsuit or a skirt, heels, or a company uniform. So yes, they are all dressed very nicely.
Well, not only dressed, but the way they speak, the way they talk, the knowledge that they seem to have. I mean, when you talk to this group of students, it's totally different, and it shouldn't be. And maybe I'm just, because this is really the group that I've talked to more than anything else. But when I look at this group of students and I look at the kids that are going to some of these high schools or what's taking place at some of these high schools, it's amazing that we do have some quality and some opportunity for the future of this country with students like this.
Oh, absolutely. And many of them are required one day a week or maybe a couple days in a month to come dressed professionally to their actual high school campus by their teacher, their virtual enterprise teacher. And they are shocked to know that, people really say nice things to them about how nice they dress, and then they take on that persona too. And they just change. Their whole personality changes.
And they actually show respect.
Yes, they do.
You know, as we're seeing, there's not a lot of that in this country anymore either. Yeah. Another thing that I was interested in, or what Greg brought up, our producer here, he said this is similar to a program on TV called Shark Tank.
It is, and in fact, I don't know, many of your listeners may remember The Apprentice several years ago, and we even have a competition right now called The Apprentice. And we're thinking about doing a Shark Tank down the road.
That'll be interesting. Now, you do have a need for judges.
Yes, we do.
Okay,
yes.
And explain to us what the judges do.
Well, the judges, there's a variety of oral competitions on the 2nd, and the judges, we try to have 3 judges for each of the competitions or each of the sessions of the competitions, and they will be listening to the presentations by the students. And this is aside from the state business plan competition. These are the other trade show competitions, marketing plan, HR scenario, and so forth. And the students have 5 minutes to either tell them about their marketing plan or their sales presentation or something about their company. And then the judges go off for rubrics, or actually score sheets, where they must judge. And then the winners will be announced at the closing ceremony on the 3rd of December.
Yeah, which is going to be fun. So what's the phone number for people to call if they want to be involved as judges?
Okay, well,
and what pre-qualifications do they have to become judges?
Well, the qualifications basically are an interest in business and an understanding of business, maybe marketing plan or employee manual or HR. Sales presentations a little easier because all of us are approached by salespersons to buy something. So all of us probably could do that. business plan judges, a connection with either the financial industry or banking or understanding about financials, especially and how businesses work. And our phone number here in Bakersfield is 396-4430, and that rings right into my office, which is located at the Regional Occupational Center. It's the Kern High School District school.
So if people want to see some quality students with some interesting companies and what they're doing with those companies, they should come to the trade show on Wednesday, December 3rd.
Yes.
What are the times of the trade show?
It begins at 9:30. Well, the opening ceremony is 8:30, and we're going to have a guest speaker from 2 colleges in New York State, plus a young entrepreneur here in Bakersfield. His name is Eric Rivera. He's about 22 or 23 years old. He's going to do an opening ceremony. And then the actual event for the trading starts at 9:30 and goes to 1 o'clock.
And it's free to the general public.
Yes, it is.
And if they've never been to one of these, this will be a fascinating opportunity.
It is.
Yeah, it definitely is fun. We're having a conversation with Nancy Phillips, who is the director for the Western region of the United States for Virtual Enterprise. And what's your website?
The website is veinternational.org.
veinternational.org. You know, it's funny. Clay was talking about the caliber of the students. I remember, I think it was my second year walking through the Rabobank, or actually through the hotel, and I was just amazed at how many schools were there represented. You know, and it's one big. I mean, I don't know how you don't lose your mind through this whole thing, but it was, you know, one big mess of schools and students and people floating around. And I remember one school that came in, and they weren't really dressed that well. You could tell they weren't prepared. They looked around, saw the competition, and left. But and I can't remember the name of the school, but they came back the next year and they were prepared.
Yes.
Which, you know, made a big difference. So, I mean, the competition here really is top flight, and I'm impressed that these kids are high school kids. I think you need this kind of training, especially if you're going to go to college, and especially if down the road you're going to have your own business, because I'm amazed at how many businesses start out and don't have a business plan.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, it's really amazing. You know, Clay and I are in the insurance business. I can think of a lot of businesses that I've written the insurance on where you ask basic questions like, what do you think your gross receipts are going to be? What's your payroll going to be? And they don't have the answer. Well, how do you know if you're going to make any profit? You know, are you going to sell the widgets for $1 when they cost you $1.05 and make it up on volume? It doesn't work that way.
No,
so
they have to do a break-even analysis on their products or services. They have to have income statements and cash flow statements and balance sheets, and that all goes in the business plan competition for the plan. So they have to understand how that all goes together.
How long are the projections for the income?
Well, right now they're up to 3 years.
3 years. So what is, just to change a little bit, the school that's coming the furthest, do you know who that would be?
It'd be the schools from New York City.
Oh, they're actually coming out here to compete?
Yes.
Now, why are they coming to the California event to compete?
Well, because any state can go to any trade show.
I see.
And since the headquarters are in New York City, they always bring students out here. They don't compete in the business plan competition, but they can compete in anything else.
Now, do they have to raise their own funds to come to this?
That partially they do, and partially the New York City organization has funding for the students to help them.
And how many schools from Bakersfield are participating?
There are 7, all 7 in Bakersfield.
Wow. Now, see, that's news to me. I didn't realize that schools came in from out of state.
Yes.
So, say, for example, a school comes in from New York City. Are they going to be part of the marketing plan presentation? Is there a possibility we may be judging them?
They could be, absolutely.
So they could be coming from California as a New York City school.
Well, no, they can't be in the business plan competition.
Okay.
But they could be in the actual separate marketing plan competition or the HR scenario or perfect pitch. Any of the mail-ins, and we had several mail-ins, newsletter, catalog, video commercial, and their websites are all done outside of this.
Right. Okay, so they could be in the competition but not necessarily go from California.
No, they wouldn't represent California
Okay.
from the business plan side.
So you've got 2 schools doing hoverboards. What other type of product have you seen that's going to be presented?
Well, there's always clothing. That's
Always,
a favorite. There's jewelry, sporting goods, Restaurants are
restaurant?
food, always food.
Yep.
Cupcakes used to be the big thing, but that's kind of waned a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Then there's some just off-the-wall ones, like there's a company in down in Orange County that has a how you're going to survive a zombie apocalypse.
I remember one year there was a taking a flight to the moon or something?
Yes, it was called something Infinite Tours or something like that.
Yes, and I remember judging that. It's like, okay, how do you look at the marketing plan for that? I mean,
and now
where's
it's
the
actually
costs?
happening.
Yeah, now it's actually happening, yeah. Well, Nancy, thank you very much. And again, the phone number, in case people want to become involved?
It's 396-4430. Area code is 661.
Great. And Nancy, thank you for what you do. It's a great program, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
We will. Thank you very much.
We'll be back in a moment on Taking Care of Business on Koerner Radio News Talk 1180.